We spoke going into this game, and now you are a New York State champion back in the Dome. You went to CBA. You set your own single records, for yourself individually. You've been in this Dome as a player. You've been a captain on Syracuse, and now you're back here in the Dome as a state champion, as an assistant coach on CBA. I don't know how you write a sweeter story than that.
It's great. It's a joy to me to be here, just personally being back and doing it again as a coach and sharing my wisdom. But these young men we have on this team, they played well. Jordan, these guys, they really, stuck it out and believed. We went in at halftime. I did my rah-rah speech, and these kids came out in the second half and played and delivered.
You had outscored opponents over 100 points to 26 coming into these last two games, and these were two gutted out tight wins, 20-18, and then this one 32-31. Just what you could say about how this team learned resiliency and just kept with it.
So it's nothing new to us. Like I said a couple of days ago, that we went 3-0 and 0-3, and then everybody doubted us, but everybody in our locker room believed. We knew in the second half that we were going to get them to tire out, right? They had a couple of guys, almost all their guys going both ways. 10 made a couple of plays, and they wanted to double team them. And like I told you the other day, we got enough horses in our stable that when you double team him, 4 was wide open. When you did something to him, 3 and 6 came open. And then we just played our game, and it showed at the end. And number 24, Brunson, made 2 key plays for us. And he's only a sophomore, so this team is built on family and trust.
You talk about being built on family and trust. You guys believed from the inside out. There was almost no expectation when you got into the postseason from the outside in. How sweet is a victory when it was really just you guys believing and nobody really giving you a chance?
Well, when that first started, we didn't care. We were in. We didn't care. It didn't matter what seed. Because we knew when we started with FM, we can play with them. Well, and then Whitesboro, we beat them. We knew we had to withstand their ground game. Came back FM, we knew we had it, And the thing about the FM game, they never seen Dan Anderson at quarterback, so that was a wrinkle. And then everybody started preparing for Dan, forgetting that we got weapons on the outside. So we were able to play him and 10 in different spots, and it's just hard to gear in on one of those two when they're in different spots. And we came out with a win, but we believe. These kids worked so hard for it, and at the end, Jordan just said, "Hey, Coach, we're going to ice this." And I said, "All right, I believe in you, buddy." So
you're down in the second half, and then Jordan and this offense come up with 2 huge touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. Just what you could say about how poised Jordan Ray was out there and just how this offense responded and really never seemed frazzled in the second half at all.
Well, that started with Coach Casey. Coach Casey came out, had a game plan right away. We were going for 2 points every time we scored. So we already knew that the whole week that we were going for 2, win, lose, or draw. And then that second half, like I said, they started double teaming 10 with no middle safeties. Well, I'll take my big 6'3" guy and run him down the middle of the field when you have no high safety. So again, it's just a numbers game. If you want to try to play 2 people on 1, we're going to outflank you somewhere else. So we saw it. Actually, the play before, number 6 was running wide open down the seam, and we missed him. So it was just for us playing our game. Jordan keeping his poise. He tried to take a couple of kill shots, right? The deep one when we didn't need it, but he wanted to try to put the dagger in him, but he came back and stayed poised. And his just communication with me as the OC. He sees things and he's like, "Hey, Coach, we can do this. All right, run it." Because I have full faith in him at the helm of our offense, and he pulled that out.
The 2-point conversion where we see Dan Anderson just scramble, and eventually somebody gets open. That was a pretty incredible play.
You can't teach that.
Yeah.
You can't teach what Dan Anderson has, right? Dan Anderson has the it factor. That's plain and simple. He's a big, stout, strong kid. You try to wrap him up with his legs. He did a stiff arm, and he has the speed to get around anybody. He dumped it off to Jason Brunson, sitting there wide open. We actually had 2 guys open on that play, and he just took one of them. And that's what teams have to account for, is Dan Anderson running the ball.
32-31. They try a 2-point conversion and throw it right to Brunson. Just bring me into that moment.
Well, we knew they were doing a lot of switch routes. They're a team that runs certain plays in certain formations, and we knew they only have 4 or 5 plays out of their trip set. They only have 4 or 5 plays out of their empty set, and we knew what those were. So it's just a matter of getting Brunson back on the field so we can cover the pass. And those guys switched it. We actually thought Alex Smith had the interception a few plays before it to ice the game, and he dropped it. So that was just our game, and we knew what they were going to do, and the guys believed in it. and we pulled that off, you know.
After everything we've been through for the last almost 2 years, to be a New York State champion means what?
It means everything to us. It means everything. And Coach Casey said this, I think the first year we went 1-7. He said we're building something special. And people called him crazy because people left the program to go other schools, other places. And he kept saying, you know, we're building something. We're building something. That last year we went 1-7. People didn't realize our JV team went 5-2 with Jordan as the starting quarterback on the JV team, Omari and those guys. So we took the brunt of it that 1 year, and we knew coming into that COVID season in the spring, we had something, right? We lost 3 games by a total of 11 points. Well, 8 points. You know, had we scored 11, we win all of those. So we knew that. We knew it, and coming into this year, we knew what we were about. We knew we were the team the first 3 games. That last 3 was just happened to find ourselves after Indian River put the beat down on us, but we found ourselves in the playoffs.